Hey guys, and welcome back. It is Jaffmaster Flash, and this is United Online Racing, the league. So we are on board for the qualifying lap of Nerf. Nerf did have a go at another run, but got held up during his second qualifying run. So this is the best time that Nerf posted. As you guys are well aware, we run a realistic league, if you caught the last vids, and this is my team, Nerf 058 and Crazy Jess R. We are in Azerbaijan for the Baku Grand Prix. As I said, it is a realistic league. Realistic means no assists, absolutely no assists, and there is a team of 3 people. They do F3000, F2 and F1. Fair play. The castle turn is really difficult. As you can see, Jess at the bottom, he posted the fastest lap, but Jess does run again, and we will see his qualifying run next. But this is race 4 of season 1. And unfortunately, for many drivers, this race was dogged by disconnects, and it's the disconnect that had a catastrophic effect on one of the Mercedes drivers. But we'll get to that. We shall get to that. But Baku is a street circuit. Baku is extremely difficult, and anybody who's raced at Baku knows just how hard it is. So Nerf went fastest with a 1:38, putting him up into P1, and right now we're on board with Crazy Jessar. He decided to go back out for another run. Nerf is on another run, but unfortunately Nerf gets held up, and yeah, he was on a flyer. I think he would have equalled Jess's time, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Nerf, Jess at this point is absolutely flying. Castle section is such a tricky area of this track, but fair play to the guys. After 3 races, we had a dismal Bahrain, but they are top of the leaderboards. Before this race, it was Jess 1, Nerf 2 in the drivers' title, and in the constructors, Mercedes were on top going into this race, as we had a fantastic China. Fair play, we had a 1 and 2 in China, and it was absolutely awesome. But that's in the past. It's all about today's race, and we are just about to end qualifying, get into sector 3 and down the long back straight to bring it across the line. But fair play, the guys are absolutely awesome behind the wheel of this W10 Mercedes. So there we go. Jess, he puts it across the line for a 1:37. This is the formation lap. Everybody's forming up and doing the best to get all the tyres warmed up, and doing the best to get a decent start off the line. And fair play. At this point, I was really happy that my guys crossed the lines 1 and 2. I'm just waiting for the formation lap. You can see we'd already had a disconnect or 2. ERN Maxi driving for the Red Bull, I believe. It's unfortunate. 5 lights are out, and away to go. Phased at a drive-through penalty for a jump start. Jess out of turn 1, no problem. Nerf out of turn 1, no problem. And we are Mercedes at this point. Mercedes 1-2 after the first couple of corners, and the first couple of corners in Baku are absolutely crazy, or can be extremely crazy. There's a McLaren up into P3, and fair play to Robin to get that McLaren up into P3. He beat Tyler I believe Deluxe had a grid penalty drop. Yeah, which was strange. So just after lap 1 going into lap 2, he set the fastest time, and everything is great. Everything is great at this point. There's a 2-second gap between P2 and P3, which was Nerf and the Ferrari, but unfortunately towards the end of P3, Tyler in the Ferrari had a collision or an accident with someone, pitted and dropped right down the leaderboard. Jess just going across the line, starting P4, lap 4 rather. So as I said, this race unfortunately was really dogged with disconnects, and Dark Ghost, who drives for Red Bull, was hosting the session, and yeah, as you can see there are 3 DNFs. One was disqualified. Tyler in the Red Bull had to retire his car. Deluxe, in all fairness, he moved himself up from P10 and he's P3. So lap 5, as you can see, Jess is just going through, and there's Nerf. They're heading towards the, as you can see at the bottom, migrating host. Dark Ghost has left the session. We're on board with Nerf. Nerf's heading into the castle section. Just at that point in time, as you can see, there's a yellow flag, and you can see there is the sister Mercedes. Just at the time where my host migrated, Crazy JSR was going through the castle turn, or the castle chicane, and it lagged. He hit the wall, and that was the end of the sister Mercedes, which was, at this point, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but this is why Formula 1 has 2 drivers. If one driver has an unfortunate incident, the other guy is there to try and win, try and bring it home. Feel a bit sorry for Crazy JSR, because he had a disconnect in Bahrain as well. So we've had 4 races. He had a disconnect in Bahrain, and now a disconnect for someone in Baku, and unfortunately he didn't manage to continue the race. But we're on board with Nerf. It's lap 7, and he is doing alright. There is a decent gap between him and Deluxe, and yeah, everything at this point is rosy. So Nerf pitted lap 8. As you can see, the Ferrari mechanics, they're still working away on Deluxe, and at this point, as you can see, Nerf has the medium tyre and Deluxe has the hard tyre, and Dark Ghost is out in P1, but Dark Ghost is unfortunately the AI as he got disconnected. So into lap 9 now. They've already done 1 lap on the set of tyres. The Nerf is hunting down the AI, which is Dark Ghost, and he is keeping Deluxe at about 5 seconds, which is great. Nerf is quite happy at this point. For some reason, I don't know why, it never records the chat that we have between the drivers. And at this point, Nerf is not feeling any pressure. He's doing good. He is under control, and yeah, he is happy at the moment. It's a shame because if you remember, if you guys saw Bahrain, Nerf and Ghost, they had an awesome battle for about 7 laps, I think, where the one was trying to overtake each other, but unfortunately this Dark Ghost got disconnected, so it's the AI actually run. Nerf is out in P1 on lap 11. He's done 3 laps on those medium tyres, and everything is still chilled at this point. Everything is still really, really good. On to lap 12, there's still a 5-second gap between the both Mercedes and Ferrari, which is just Nerf doing a great job. But yes, unfortunately this race was dogged by disconnects. I think Mowgli had got disconnected. He was P9 for the Renault, and yeah, it's a shame. On to lap 13, going through the castle stretch. They'd already done 5 laps now on these medium tyres, and he is just going for it. I think if Deluxe hadn't had that grid drop penalty, I think this would have been a really, really great battle between Mercedes and Ferrari. I really do. But if anybody knows or anybody races at Baku, they will know just how difficult this circuit is. I used to hate Monaco because it was a street circuit, but believe me, compared to Baku, Monaco is a great circuit. They're all great circuits, but I mean, for my personal preference, it's very difficult to string a proper good lap together. Sector 1, Sector 2 is okay. You hit the castle sector and it just, I don't know, lap seems to unravel. But Nerf Deluxe, they're still going at it and they are still going strong. On to lap 15, still a 5-second gap. They've now done 7 laps on these tyres, and at this point we're talking, asking how the tyres are. Nerf is asking what's the gap behind. They're increasing the gap on P3, which Snipes, he did a great job in that Renault. Fair play to him. Fair play to him indeed. So 10 laps left and the gap is still 5 seconds, and the reason why I keep saying the gap is what it is because that changes towards the end. It really does, but you'll have to keep watching. So on to lap 17, Nerf hit a bit of traffic towards the back end of lap 16 and lost a bit of time, but he's going for it. He's increasing. This is where Nerf starts to get a little bit worried. Lap 18 going into lap 19, you can just make out the Ferrari in the background, bearing in mind with such a long straight of Baku. So Nerf has done 11 laps on the medium, and obviously Deluxe has done 11 laps on the hards. And it was at this point we was thinking, okay, maybe those hard tyres are now going to start to come good for Deluxe. It's lap 20, there's a gap of 4.6 seconds, and at this point Nerf is starting to get a little bit weary, a little bit worried. Those medium tyres were causing him some problems between, again, the famous castle section. He seemed to have lost quite a little bit of time compared to Deluxe on the hards. Lap 21, the gap is now under 4 seconds. The Ferrari is starting to breathe down the neck of Nerf, and Nerf, fair play, was doing a great job trying to keep him at bay. On to lap 22. We don't know what happened to Zulax. I don't know if he had hit traffic or he had had an error somewhere, but the gap did increase to 4.5, and we was thinking everything's okay at this point. So on to lap 23, and this is where everything starts to unravel. As you can see, they've both done 15 laps on their respective set of tyres, and unfortunately the mediums were really starting to go off. It felt like every corner that Nerf was heading into, Nerf was losing a couple of tenths compared to Ferrari. And as I said, especially in the this sector, this section of the track, it is the Ferrari breathing down his neck, and it was difficult. Nerf was, he was calm, but you could tell he kept on asking how everything's looking, how's the gap, and every time I was telling him the gap is coming down, he was trying his hardest. As you can see, he's jumped from 4 to 3.8 to 3.6. Nerf was a little bit, he was calm, but he was definitely worried. Lap 25 at 26, the gap is down to 2.5 seconds, and there is the Ferrari. This was definitely to quote the famous Sir Alex Ferguson, squeaky bum time, because the gap was now down to 2.2. On lap 26, the gap now is down to 1.6, and throughout this lap it comes down, and then goes back up. But fair play to Nerf, he tried and he did his very best. At this point he said that the back tyres were at 80% worn, and I truly believe if there had been one more lap, it would have been a Hamilton Verstappen of Hungary all over again. As you can see, the gap is 9 tenths now going into the final stretch. The back tyres on that Mercedes, on that W10 car, were completely worn, absolutely worn. But nevertheless, hats off to Nerf. He managed to do what he does, and he brought it across the line. Guys, all the links are down in the description below. How to join, where to watch, how to get on. If you want to come and join in United Online Racing, hit that Discord link and you know what to do. Hope you guys are all well, and we will see you in Spain. Peace.